Hi, I'm Rachel from Sweetthorn. Welcome to my latest embroidery update. I'm teaching myself new embroidery techniques and I'm in the middle of a Petit Point project. I'm embroidering a snowdrop on silk gauze. I only need to use half-cross tent stitch, but the stitches are very tiny indeed, so it takes a lot of concentration to follow the chart I made. I've put details of the materials I'm using in the description below. My last update was before a busy December kicked off, and my main aim was to finish stitching the white section of this design. There hasn't been a lot of time for stitching recently, and it seems to take a long time just to stitch a few rows because the work is so fiddly and I need to check my counting again and again. But it helped that the petals taper down and the rows get shorter. I got back into a rhythm of stitching and the snowdrop petals are emerging more clearly now. As I pointed out in my last video, any fluff on my embroidery thread shows up very clearly on these white petals, so it will need a bit of cleaning up later. Going forward, and particularly when I do white work projects, I'll have to keep white threads separate from other threads so that they don't pick up coloured fibres, although it's never been so noticeable before now when the stitches are so tiny and dense. It's still a struggle to keep the stitch tension even, but that's partly because I haven't perfected my camera setup yet, and stitching can get awkward when I'm trying not to nudge the hoop or the camera as I stitch. Here's where I've got to so far. The main part of the design is complete, and I'm ready to get started on the details. The remaining sections will mostly be in green threads, but first I'm going to try an off-white shade to suggest shadow where the petals overlap. There are areas I would stitch differently if I did this again. You can see how the right hand petal looks a bit squared off and not quite curved enough for a petal, and it is quite tricky to suggest a subtle curve when you're working on a grid pattern. I might tidy it up at the end of the project, depending on how long it takes to stitch the rest of the details. I don't correct all the mistakes I make on projects like this though, because I'm still learning. Sometimes it's enough to learn how to avoid similar issues on the next project. That's as far as I've got for now, but I'm really pleased I've managed to complete the main part of the design. I would like to finish this project in the next month or two, although I haven't got a clear idea of what I'm planning next. I do have an idea of the design I'd like to try. Hopefully I'll have a sneak peek for you next time. If you'd like to find out what I'm doing in the meantime, there's a link to my newsletter in the description. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you want to find out how I get on. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.